I'm just gonna record through FL.
Record through FL? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
You're insane.
That's crazy.
What do you mean?
Yeah, it's upping your RAM so
It's
much.
always a fucking bitch to record with FL. At least in my
How?
opinion. I've always had trouble, like, I've always had to deal with some stupid audio issue.
Fuck it, dude. Well,
Good.
I have it set up properly. If you guys haven't noticed, welcome back to the Lords of the Pointless podcast, where we literally talk about the most random shit and just hope you think it's funny and fun. And sometimes maybe we'll say stuff and you get to laugh at us. So yeah, we're here. We're all here to have a good time, have some fun, share some info on just what's going on in the world and with each other, and just especially when it comes to either anime, music, alcohol, and food, and just other random shit. So sit
Video
back,
games.
relax, hope you enjoy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and video games is another big one, which I think we might actually touch on because there's a certain video game that I think 3 of us play that actually is going to be coming out with a new season, and we might talk about it just a little bit, depending on if the boys have seen it.
Starts with an A.
Is it BMX Triple X?
Chance was trying to get me to watch the video so hard the other day.
Dude, I wanted him to watch it so bad because I still don't know how I feel about it. Like I've been watching it probably about once every 2 days. Actually, no, it just came out 2 days? I think it was 2 days ago. So I've probably seen it about twice.
For
But I'm still trying to so it's Apex, and they have a new character coming out called Fuse, and they already dropped the freaking what's it called, the like stories from the Outlands and the gameplay trailer. And I'm kind of honestly, I'm kind of baffled about what the gameplay might like turn into, what certain metas are going to come out of that, because to me, it just feels like they more or less forced this character on the game.
I remember when Revenant came out, like he was super hyped just because how sick he looked and his like wall climbing ability. He looked so promising. And then when he dropped, it was just like, I don't know. It was like a wet paper towel.
His ultimate was literally a freaking death sentence.
Yeah.
When it first came out, because
Spawn this thing right
like
here.
you would lose all your shields,
and then everybody who gets shot down to 1 health respawns right back in the same exact spot. So if you could see where like the little spawn was, and you could get all 3 of them down.
Yeah, where his totem's at.
They'd pop up all in the same spot. You could just take them down immediately. It didn't make any sense. But I think they fixed it since then.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, they did. They buffed it. All right, here we go. So
the game was
Apex
Halo
Legends
Reach, right?
Fuse abilities.
Apex, yeah.
What's that?
The game was Halo
Apex.
Reach, right?
Apex Legends.
Halo Reach?
No, it's not. Halo Reach.
Halo Reach season 55.
So Fuse's tactical ability is called the Airburst Grenade. The Airburst Grenade is a small grenade that Fuse can fire from his right arm, and we see it being used once during the trailer. While it doesn't appear to do much damage to the enemies it hits, it does seem to interrupt their aim as airborne explosions pop off around them. So that, like, if you're getting pushed by a squad, like, if you're getting aped, that might actually come in handy. So that's pretty cool. And then his passive is a grenade launcher? What?
Yeah,
the name of Fuse's passive ability hasn't actually been confirmed by Respawn quite yet, but no matter, we get the general idea. We see this near the end of the most recent trailer, and it appears to be a spring-loaded launcher that Fuse keeps in his arm for his grenades. Oh, okay. So it's something that doesn't take a power-up. It's just, I think it's out of his either... I mean that's kind of a stupid thing to say, either right or left arm, like he has more than
wrist
2.
launcher.
Yeah, it's a wrist launcher where it's like whatever grenade you have, it like sticks in his like little arm slingshot thing.
Dope.
Twink. So here's his ultimate. It's called the Mother Load. Fuse's ultimate ability is known as the Mother Load. I know.
I'm dropping
and it may seem familiar if you've been. It may seem familiar if you've been playing Apex Legends a lot lately. The Mother Load is a missile that detonates in mid-air and spreads flames across the battlefield wherever you choose. Flames do damage as Legends touch and pass through them. And this can be used to cut off escape routes as legends attempt to move through the environment. So I could see that being almost like in comparison to like Caustic's gas traps.
I kind of see it as like
If
a
you think
napalm
about it.
strike almost.
Yeah, I was thinking like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Pretty cool.
I think I really feel like it's going to add a new element to the game. I honestly feel like from the gameplay, but everybody knows in Apex gameplay trailers, everybody only has like 20 HP. But
they're so
I have a
like,
feeling
scripted.
yeah. I have a feeling that the 30-30 or 60-60 or whatever the repeater is, I think it's 30-30. But the repeater, I think it's actually going to be like way too or actually no, you know what? I'm going to say it's going to be just a bit underpowered. I feel like it's probably going to do somewhere along the damage as like a longbow, but I can't remember for the life of me if the fire rate is faster than the longbow or not. So we shall see. Either way, I'm super excited for the new season of Apex. What about you guys?
Oh yeah. I mean, considering I just re-downloaded it like a week and a half ago, yeah. Because the first time I tried to download it on my old PC, I'm using a new one. First time I tried to download it on my old PC, blue screen.
Really?
And I knew it was the download from Apex because I had downloaded nothing else on this computer practically other than music. And I knew my music files weren't corrupt, so I knew it was Apex itself. And it
Just
blue
being-
screened. Well, yeah, it just being weird, but it blue screened my computer so bad that even Windows tech support couldn't fix it. So I had
Oh
to-
my
Jesus.
I
god.
bet I could have.
yeah. Well, I had to boot. I had to boot it from a USB, and I used a bootleg version of Windows for like 8 months until I got a new PC.
Jeez.
Speaking
FaZe
of
is
EA,
over here freaking downloading freaking Windows off Pirate Bay.
I downloaded it off my
BitTorrent.
friend's computer.
speaking of EA, I remember hearing that Tencent was gonna potentially buy EA and Take-Two.
Really?
That may be a rumor, but I did hear about that.
I
That
wouldn't
has
be
a lot of
surprised.
interesting implications.
Mhm.
'Cause
Hmm.
those
Yeah,
are-
that's gonna be interesting.
What is Tencent?
Tencent
It's-
is one of the biggest electronic or software companies in the world, hailing from, I believe, China.
Yeah, it's a
They
China-run
own
company.
Epic Games. So yeah, they own the whole Fortnite thing. But
pretty
if
sure they
own,
have-
if they own that and EA and
I'm pretty
what was
sure
the
they
other
have a hand in
Two?
Riot Games too, if I'm not mistaken.
God
Say it again?
damn.
I think so.
So they got
Yeah.
the Valorant.
I should look it up before I say anything, but
Or wait, Riot Games?
Riot.
Oh,
That's
so
The
so yeah,
launcher for.
they own a lot of franchises to the point where if they were to buy EA and Take-Two, they would
Mhm.
kind of be like the Disney of video games because they would kind of have a monopoly on a pretty large amount of franchises and things.
I think so.
Jesus.
So that's interesting to consider. Because
Yeah.
Take-Two is huge. They
So
do.
who's Take-Two? I'm not.
Take-Two.
It's going over my head.
Take-Two owns Rockstar, and that's all I need to say.
Oh,
because-
gotcha,
gotcha.
That's the big deal.
Yeah.
Rockstar
so
makes some
imagine-
pretty awesome open
So
world
imagine
games.
GTA, Fortnite, all the EA games, Red Dead, all that shit, all owned by the same company, and they also do mobile gaming too.
Oh, geez.
That's potentially huge and monopoly level. So
Yeah.
I don't
The
know
one-
if this is for sure going through, but it is pretty interesting.
The one thing that I think is interesting when on the topic of Rockstar and GTA is there have been 3 GTA games on PlayStation 2, 2 on PlayStation 3, and GTA 5 has been on 3 PlayStations.
Yeah.
Damn.
3 freaking consoles, man.
Yeah.
There's no reason
That's
for them to
nuts.
make
I-
another one.
Holy
I remember
shit,
waiting
yeah.
for it to release at midnight for PS3 back in the day.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I was like,
remember
I
playing it on
want that
PS3.
poster of the city so I know where I am.
As
Hung it
long
up
as
on my wall.
GTA Online exists, they're never gonna stop.
Oh yeah, I don't think servers for that game are ever gonna die.
Makes too much money.
Like, I mean, even look at Club Penguin, man. They said that thing was like that shit shut down for like what, like a year, and then they reopened it. Way back in the day, back in like freaking elementary school.
So
Yeah.
it was weird. Club
good
Penguin like went under my radar. Neopets was like the biggest thing in our school.
Neopets.
Yeah, Neopets was huge.
Neopets.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
luckily, like
Neopets and RuneScape.
RuneScape.
Yeah, RuneScape was
too.
probably our big one.
So our
Absolutely.
I did like an after school kind of like thing, like daycare kind of, but they had like 4 computers at the back of the room, and they had like Super Nintendo. This place was pretty chill now that I think about it. Like
Fuck yeah,
compared to
dude.
it like at home, you were like, well, I got a PlayStation and stuff. So, but like when you're there, it's like, whatever. They got Nintendo, they got a couple computers, so Neopets and RuneScape, and a few people realized that you could just like like go back a few pages and you'd be able to go on people's like RuneScape accounts.
Oh,
So people were like stealing each other's paintbrushes and
Gotta delete your cookies, man.
yeah, it was a whole big deal to the point where they had to put like a lock on Neopets, and then RuneScape came around, and oh man, that was a
Oh
whole
my
other
God.
freaking
Just think about that for a second though, like a firewall for Neopets.
for 5th and 6th graders.
I know.
It's getting out of control. These kids are crazy.
Well, once
We
you're
can't
like
control
hacking
them.
into people's accounts and like getting rid of like shit they've spent like hours on, like it was the same like Pokemon card debacle. It's like, don't bring your
Oh,
Pokemon cards to school if you don't want them stolen.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how it was for us too with like Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff.
Oh, well,
Kids
I'd
would
play
fight
Yu-Gi-Oh with
on
my
the
buddy
playground.
at like we'd get to school like an hour and a half before school started.
Just to play
And-
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, we'd sit there and play Yu-Gi-Oh,
Dude,
and every once in a while the janitor would find us and he'd be like, "You boys are here too early at school. I'm gonna put you to work." And so he'd literally have us like cleaning like the like mess halls and stuff like that.
Yo, that's savage. Hey, that guy needs a raise,
Well,
bro.
I'm not gonna lie. The guy was a military man, and he would like have you
Oh
do
yeah, of
push-ups
course.
and
Of
stuff.
course he
like,
was.
He was hardcore. Shout out, Mr. Denny.
Back in the day, well, I used to like achievement hunt with like this one like homie, play video games and achievement hunt,
Mhm.
and he was always trying to put me in a rivalry with this one dude. I guess it doesn't really matter what his name is, but for some reason, this dude, even though he graduated like before my year in high school graduation, like there was like a high school graduation party at like a park, and for some reason he was there playing Yu-Gi-Oh with some guy, even though he had already graduated like several years before, and I was like, "You're a dork."
That's like
I consider myself a dork, but
Yeah.
I
would I mean maybe not to the same extent,
Hey, I still
but
got
I
my
would
Yu-Gi-Oh
consider
cards.
that like oh yeah, I still have a couple of my Yu-Gi-Oh
no
cards,
offense to
too.
any of the Yu-Gi-Oh people, I love you.
Oh dude,
I love
my
it, too.
Lightsworn deck used to destroy people. But yeah, so it's like I would consider that yeah, I would consider that like almost like, when you go to high school and you go out to a high school party and you see the people that graduated like 3 or 4 years like before you at that high school party. It's like, what are you doing here besides being the person that bought the booze? Like, you buy the booze for somebody and then you get paid and then leave. Like, you don't stick around.
As much as parties as I didn't really go to in high school, I was going to raves like since like junior year. So
Yup.
15.
That's
I
when,
was
yeah,
like
2012, I think, was when 2011, 2012 was when I really started going to raves.
it was like 2007 when I started
Yeah.
going, and then started becoming a DJ a few years later. But the funny thing was, all the older kids were like, you know, they just didn't like go to shit like that, or they didn't like listen to anything.
They thought it was weird.
And then later, once you're like a DJ, you would start seeing them show up at shows, and they're like the ones that are like all new school at it. So they're like taking pills and just getting fucked up, and you're like,
and just making
you're
a
their
fool
own
of
business. You know, you're there going into the show to enjoy yourself, and so you're just like, you know, a veteran who's been there for years, and then you see this guy that like, you know, used to talk shit on you, and he's in the corner rolling balls like, dude, this is the most awesome thing. Like, I wish I would have done this like when I was, you know, back in high school with you.
Years
you're just
ago,
like,
bro.
dude,
Yeah, and you're just like,
get
shut
out
up,
of
you
here.
fucking poser.
Yeah. No, I think the worst thing is like I never really played any big shows, but even then it's like a lot of the people that were talking shit back in high school when I really first started DJing and like DJing like house parties and stuff, which I'm pretty sure is where a lot of us started. But you know, what they would do is they would see you at a show like there, or they would like see you on a lineup because you posted it on Facebook promoting the event. But then they would like message you through like Facebook or something and be like, "Hey bro, hey, what's going on, dude? Hey, you know, nice to talk to you again. Like I know
Nice
we
to
were
see you
homies."
for your first first
Yeah,
time in 1,000
like
years.
like yeah, dude, you know you were always the homie and stuff like that. And like, do you think you could guest list me and my 3 friends and their 2 girlfriends to your show? And I'm just like, no. Are you high, bro?
Yeah, we weren't homies.
Like, why don't
that,
you
dog.
like if you really said you were my homie, like, why don't you buy a ticket and come
Right.
see me and support me so I can get paid? Like,
Right.
that's the one mentality I don't think I ever like understood. Now, that being said, there have been times where I was out of a job and I just didn't get booked for certain events, and I really wanted to go see my friends play. So what I would do is I would contact the promoter and say, "Hey, do you need any extra help for free?" So, and like in exchange for admission. Half the time they'd be like, "No, sorry, that's not the way that we work because, you know, certain reasons." And other times if I knew the promoter, they'd be like, "Yeah, hey, cool. If you can do this from this time to this time, you can have the rest of the night off and just have fun and go see your friends." And which I honestly think was a very fair exchange, as long as in which I made sure I did the work properly. There was a couple companies, like production companies and event companies and stuff, in the Sacramento area at the time where I did that, and they were super cool about it. And I made sure that I did everything right, you know, asked the right questions, did the right work, and finished it. And it got me to a lot of really good shows. And the other cool thing is it actually got me to, it actually gave me the opportunity to meet a lot of really like cool people even when it comes to producers and DJs or just people in general. So I'm a full like supporter of that. So if you're an event coordinator and you throw events, and sometimes you might be a little understaffed, sometimes that's the way to go. Is just have a little bit of extra help in exchange for tickets or just admission in general. But don't do it like because like the biggest thing is you want to make sure you kind of know these people, or else they will just do 5 minutes of work, and then once the show starts, they will fuck off and you won't see them for the rest of the night.
I used to do promoting like for the shows to get back, because being young and not having the money to go to the show every weekend, the only way you could do it was to promote for one of the companies and show up and hand out flyers at the end of the night. And I did not mind
that was a
doing
big one.
That was actually like a lot of fun for me.
I did the exact same thing in Colorado with Submission, and that's how I got pretty much into that niche of bass music and like deep, because they respect the old school. But yeah, I wanted
100%.
to get the free shows, and if you promoted 10 shows for them, you would get 1 free one.
That seems fair to me.
You get like a little stamp card.
Yeah,
a
no,
little stamp card for every show.
like a free coffee card.
If you did consistent work for them for a year, they'd hire you on as an intern.
That's pretty sick.
And I wanted to
that's
do
pretty
that
cool.
so bad, but I only did it for like 3 months. I did get to meet some cool people. Do you guys know who Flava D is?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got to meet her. That shit was sick.
I believe it.
Yeah, she's badass.
She holds it down, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even really like baseline like that, but she pumps it up. Not gonna lie. I was pretty drunk when I saw her too, so I was having the time of my life.
Hell yeah.
I loved Colorado.
Pretty dope.
Yeah, the amount of, even though it's like, so I've been to Colorado, besides like going through layovers through Denver, which isn't even technically being in Colorado, but I think the time that I spent in Colorado was about 24 to 36 hours when I was moving from Kansas over to where I'm at now. By the way, shout out Kansas, you fucking shit state.
Big cocks only.
Big cocks only.
Yeah, big cock country.
Yeah, dude.
Yes.
But yeah, my wife and I stayed at I can't remember if it was a Holiday Inn or like a Days Inn or like a La Quinta or something. One of those more shit. Like it's not like a motel. Actually, no, it was a Motel 8. That's what it was. It was a fucking Motel 8. And it was like right next to the Air Force base in Colorado Springs.
Oh yeah, the academy.
Yeah, it was right next to the Air Force Academy. And I walked up we drove up, opened the door, and immediately just reeked like freaking weed, man. And I was like, all right, yup, we're in Colorado. And we walked into this motel, and it actually wasn't bad looking. Like it was pretty sanitary, everything was clean. But then like once we started like walking up to our room, we noticed this guy that kept knocking on like 3 or 4 different doors, like in increments of like 30 to 20 minutes. And it took me about 3 hours to realize what he was doing. And what he was doing was what's that?
He was a man of the night.
Kinda. I guess you could say that, but this is like, I'm talking like this is like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, but
Man,
he was.
He's got a hankering.
Yeah. No, it wasn't him. It was his women. He was pimping out women to people in the Motel 8.
Damn.
And me and my wife just like look at each other like, you know. And I literally heard him because I went out to go get like El Super Taco or something for dinner one night. And I heard him like
Taco, bro.
Dude, that shit slaps, right?
It does.
But shout out El Super Taco.
Just one right by my
please.
house. Yes, please, God.
Yeah. But yeah, and so I heard him like banging on one of the doors from like, this is like all the way down the hallway. Like I'm talking like 50 meters. Yeah. No, it was like he just started screaming through this door like, "Did you get your happy ending yet? Hurry up!" Like all this other stuff. I'm like, "Are you kidding me, bro?" Like, dude, no
Would
shame.
you like a redo?
Like, and then like, no joke, 20 more minutes go by, and he fucking pounding on the door again. And he goes, "Hey, it was $100 extra for anal." And I'm like, it was bad. But yeah, that's my Colorado experience.
Sounds like you had a great time, and I hope you come back again.
Speaking of like sketchy motels and shit, I've been watching a lot of videos. There's this dude named This Is Dan Bell on YouTube, and he does videos of like sketchy, dirty motels or like dead, abandoned malls or like abandoned like insane asylums or hospitals and stuff. I love watching just these 30 plus long minute videos of the empty, creepy hallways. I don't know about you guys, but that shit's tight.
Oh yeah, sometimes it just gives me the heebie-jeebies.
It's like
I like
like
the
making
heebie-jeebies.
content out of like nothing, but like adding like a spooky soundtrack in the background, and all of a sudden you got something pretty interesting.
Yeah, like literally putting in zero effort.
It's like, let's go to this abandoned
photography's
place
good.
and record.
Yeah. What up, demons? It's your boy.
It's your boy. I love that
It's
clip.
amazing. It's amazing how many malls like throughout the country, the U.S., are just so abandoned and dead or dying. It's some trippy shit.
Well, I mean, even if you look at it now with everything going on in the world with, the one thing everybody's
Even more so,
familiar
yeah.
with, they're like, I mean, up here where I'm at, like, there's still a lot of people going to malls and stuff, which is kind of concerning. But I know California has a
To do
lot of
what?
malls. Fucking shop, my guy.
Yeah, consumer
What else would you do
nation.
at a mall? Sit there with your willy out and just look at people?
Well,
Isn't that what the high schoolers are doing nowadays?
I don't know. I'm completely out of touch with that generation. But but yeah, like there's a lot of malls that are still completely closed just because of the effect that of everything that's going on. But I don't know.
I have two ways that I feel about it.
businesses
It's like
lost
I
money.
understand that it's a rough economy out there, especially right now, especially for a lot of like restaurants having to have that
100%.
closing, problems or outdoor dining, stuff like that. But like I think it's almost like some of the places that are going out of business are like places like Red Robin or whatever, where it's like,
Yeah.
fuck Red Robin, like, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like, let these old franchises fucking die if they can. Like, I don't give
Yeah.
a shit. Like, I'd rather
What
have
about tomorrow?
some mom and pop shop open up, in that same exact place like next year or whenever this shit goes away. And but the biggest problem is the movie theaters. Like half of the movie theaters like in California are owned by Regal, and all like I don't even know what it was, like 500 something of them like all closed down in California. And that's like all of the ones near me and shit. And there was one right in my town and it's fucking gone. It's fucking huge. It had the whole entire like section, with business. And now I can't imagine what's going to be in there and bring people there to, go hang out. But that part sucks.
Even if if you look at like Cinemax and stuff, Cinemax was such a big thing, for the past like maybe 2-3 years since the technology really came out. Since before you had to wear the red and blue 3D glasses. But I feel like starting that like I said 2 to 3 years ago, and then having this huge boom and success, because I think it was something where it's like 70% of films that came out in 3D like were the main target points, were the main ones that people went to because of that technology. And then going from huge sales down to nothing just immediately. So it's like there's no pull for it anymore until this whole shit show that's going on in this earth right now is hopefully vanished within the foreseeable future. I think it's going to make just another huge comeback where a lot of the small businesses might, but that's just me and the way my mind is right now. But I am a huge advocate for smaller businesses. I mean, yeah, I like shop at like Winco and shit for like my groceries, but like a lot of other just off, like how would I put this? More like intaking stuff and consumer level stuff. Like I am a huge supporter of small businesses. Like, because the way I look at it is if I had product and I was just starting, I would definitely want people to come into my store. So why not support that?
Well, it's like you can give your money to, somebody who could use it, or you can give it to the guy who's not gonna, give a shit because he wipes his ass with, $100 bill every fucking morning.
Jeff Bezos.
Or you can put it
It's like Jeff Bezos. Like if you make another purchase on Amazon, do you think Jeff Bezos is gonna give a shit?
Gives a shit?
He doesn't.
No.
Like it's not even gonna fly under his radar. But
I
you
will
walk into some
say-
of those mom and pop places, and You know, they actually give a
Yeah.
shit.
Regarding what I just said, I will say I have spent a good little bit of money on Amazon lately, just because
I'm
a
an
lot of the mom
Amazon
and pop
slave.
Oh yeah, dude. Like, especially when it comes to like a lot of my mead stuff, I got it off Amazon because I mean, I somewhat trust Amazon. Somewhat. Um, Especially for when it comes to, well, the cool thing is it's like a lot of Amazon is sold by third party, sellers
Yeah. It's
and companies.
vendors that like basically have their store, their shop like set up through Amazon. And I totally understand that.
Exactly.
I mean, it makes
But-
sense.
To be honest, I don't really use Amazon that much.
What do you use?
He uses wish.com. Don't lie.
No,
You gotta
I
wait
get the
4
most
fucking
cursed
months for
fucking
your, with
ads
your,
from
for your
Wish.
product. That was another topic I was gonna actually touch on tonight, was a lot of these delivery services, was how much money people made being delivery drivers, but then also the companies themselves. Look at DoorDash, Grubhub, My Town to Go, Uber Eats. Like, the list goes on and on. But those are like the main ones,
Were drivers
Um,
making that much money?
Yeah, because they would have multiple runs in a night.
No, I guess that's true. There's a lot more business, but I didn't know if like the money was like better per se. I feel like if you're working just as hard, you know,
Yeah.
I have a close
money's gonna
homie
be
that
there.
does it, and he said it wasn't that great.
yeah, I have
Really?
a friend that
Okay,
does it
then-
right now, and he's like,
Then I
it's just
redact my
extra
statement.
money.
Then I redact my statement, but I will say though those companies still made a shit.
Oh yeah,
ton
no,
of money.
they're making so much fucking money. It's amazing
Yeah.
how much like the bigger businesses are really benefiting from this shit.
Oh, 100%.
Like all
100%.
these billionaires have made like all their money this last year, 2020. They've made like 5 times over what they had in 2019. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Like
Oh,
for
speaking of
Elon,
which,
But-
for Elon to pass Jeff Bezos and like richest man in
That's-
the world.
that's
That's
nuts,
insane.
man.
I understandably
Yeah.
he sold his company to acquire that money, but still the thought that it was like possible is insane.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say was, for the first time in a long time, the average Joe is finally taking back some of the rich cat's money
Yep.
in the stock market right now.
True
Yep.
facts.
Yeah, dude. AMC went up by what was it? 20
Myself
points?
included.
20 points overnight? Or how much was it?
Well, it's not
What is
points. it's
Cameron
like
listening
Or
dollars.
to?
you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday, well, today/yesterday, it went up like 200%.
That's
no wonder
what it
I
is.
keep
200%.
seeing
my bad.
everybody talking about stocks.
Yeah, I put
Stonks.
because what is it? What was it? Each share of AMC was $18 or something like that originally, and then it jumped. I actually bought 2 shares, and so I got like, I think I made like $35 just through like Robinhood. Shout out Robinhood. If you really want to get into stock
Should I-
market and stuff like that, it's a good
Should
start.
I brag?
Yeah, you should tell them.
Go
how much
for
they
it,
made
brother.
today.
Several
Flex.
$1,000 today in the stock market.
Flex.
Dude, already.
It, I did, yeah.
Oh wait, you said it?
That was your flex?
Well, yeah, I just said it.
Sorry, say that again.
sorry,
We
I
were
don't
all
know.
talking.
I don't know how to flex. I said I made just a couple grand in the stock market.
Jesus.
You could see now. Let me give you
Bro.
some tips if you want to flex. Next
I
time,
don't know how to flex.
next time you say the specific amount and be like, "Yeah, this is how much fucking money I made one
So
day."
So 2,300 was me cashing out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. There you go.
That's
That's a
good.
flex. That's a
really
flex.
good.
I still have shit holding on to that I can cash out.
Yeah. I'm so
Oh.
bummed. I literally last year I had to cash out all my crypto so I can fucking make rent
So-
on my the next month's fucking lease.
I've had to do it.
And it's just
It's a shame, man.
yeah.
Mhm.
It is a
Dude,
So I
shame.
will.
I sold the GameStop stuff that I had like a month back. I had like I think 20 shares and I sold them like a
Yeah, I
month
just
back.
saw that
If I
they
kept
like they're making
if I
money
kept
now
that shit,
too.
Yeah.
But what? So wait, what's the thing with GameStop? How are they making all this money?
do you want me to explain it? I can explain it.
I mean, just in simplest form, they're not selling more
Okay.
games.
So in simplest form, the rich people, institutional investors and hedge fund managers and the like, they do this thing called short selling, which basically means they buy stock and then they immediately sell it. But when they bought it, they borrowed the money to buy it. So then they buy basically by selling the stock, they this is not a short explanation. God damn it. By selling the stock, they drive the price down and then they make a profit off of it. Basically, they make a profit off of driving the price down of the stock. Now, what they did with GameStop is they shorted it for 140% of the stock volume. In other words, they did more shorts of the stock than the actual amount of stock that existed. So
Oh, no, that makes sense.
these guys on
It's
Reddit
like
discovered
a
that
sale. Like, hey, we're putting on a sale. Come buy this shit.
Yeah.
or more like these rich cats were basically being so corrupt that Reddit figured it out, and then they're like, "All right, we'll just buy GameStop and drive up the price."
Yeah.
And
Redditors unite. Shout out Reddit.
I love that. I love when the internet comes together to fuck over a company.
Oh, I love it, dude. Yeah,
it's ironic too because they're called Robin Hood. Robin Hood is the main app. Literally,
yeah.
what is taken from the rich, given to the poor, the way it
Yep.
should be.
Yeah. But yeah, so I did want to take a moment though, just to see like, a lot of people ask, who are you? Where are you? But you know what we need to ask? How are you? So far, for let's say the past week and a half, I believe is when we did our last podcast. Let's do just like a little bit of a checkup, So why don't we start with Tokes? How you doing, man?
Me,
His life
I'm
has
good.
been consumed by Rust.
I've been playing a lot of Rust in my off time, and I keep getting upset when I schedule other shit out. Like every time somebody's like, "Hey, let's do something," like I'm always like, "Sure, no problem." But then at the end of during that time, I'm like, "God damn it, I want to be playing Rust right now," even
wish
though
I was
it's
playing
like
Rust.
I'm not doing anything important in Rust at all. It's just like I wish I would didn't allocate my time like any differently. But
Yeah.
That's the whole point, though, of those kind of like I'm gonna call it like a chore game. Where
yeah, it's
kind of doing
it's
chores,
grindy. That's all it is. It's a
but it's
grindy game.
cathartic. Cathartic is the
Yeah.
key.
So I've been enjoying that, and but the biggest problem is like for me, it's not something that's worth streaming. So I've been kind of bummed that I've been playing something that I'm not streaming. So I've kind of been, lacking there. So I am a little bit bummed about that. I'm trying to find something that is both enjoyable for me to play and like something that I think, it would be worth streaming. People would be willing to watch me play.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to balance right now. Everything else besides that, shit. I've been working really good, or working a lot. So,
But yeah, Tokes, it's good to hear that you're doing good and that you still need to go to AA for your Rust addiction. But yeah. So what about you, Faiza?
Well, I've just been working, doing school. I actually just got back from school right before I got on here.
damn,
And
night
Yeah.
school or what?
I go to, huh?
Is it night school?
No, it's high school. Yeah,
That's a little creepy. Faisal.
it's night school, and I have like homework that I do during the day too, but I'm at work. So I don't really do homework at work unless I got really good downtime, which doesn't really happen in the automotive industry. I work as a mechanic.
Is the
Out of
school
Firestone.
online?
It's half and half. The school-based work is online, and then we go and do like lab-based shit, hands-on, on the
Oh, that's
vehicles
sick.
and stuff like that. I used my my GI Bill to help pay for it,
Nice.
and I still have some left over too. So if I want to go to school after I get my certification for this course, I think I still can.
Is that how it works?
Nice,
like
man.
you get like like a set amount of money that you can use towards?
You get a set
schooling?
amount of time, actually.
Oh, that's
Which is the
interesting.
craziest thing. And the GI Bill, what sets it apart from the Montgomery, or I mean the post 9/11 GI Bill. Sorry. What sets it apart from the Montgomery GI Bill is the Montgomery GI Bill is like transferable. You can give it to your children. You can give it to any of your dependents who want to use it to go to school. That's what a lot of the old military people used it for, say, like maybe about 20 years ago. And then after 9/11, post 9/11 GI Bill came out, and that one uses time as the equating factor for how much they want to give you. So if you're going to get a technical degree or a certification like I am, that's only 15 months. They are allotting me 33 months of school time.
That's
So I was
awesome.
like, all right.
Yeah, I really wish I could have opted in for the 9/11 post 9/11 GI Bill, but I ended up getting the Montgomery. Which
I mean,
was probably a bad idea because
I
already know my ass ain't going back to school.
but you have a family.
Yeah, but doesn't that mean you can pass it on?
Exactly, that's the best
Oh
part
yeah,
about
well
it.
yeah, that's true. Actually, I think I have to do what 6? Is it 6 years service?
I think it's 6.
Yeah, so I'm coming up on the beginning of my 5th.
It's either 6 or
Wow.
8, and you can transfer it.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you're close to your 6.
Yeah, I'm pretty close. But my wife's about to graduate like this June, so unless she wants to like pursue her like graduate's degree or something like that, or whatever,
Bachelor's?
then yeah,
Bachelor's.
I'll probably
Bachelor's degree.
no, that's what she's getting right now. She's
Oh,
doing
so her
bachelor's.
master's.
Masters.
Yeah, either masters or something else. That's probably what I'll do. But yeah, man, like that's awesome that you're doing school. And what exactly are you going to school for again, man?
For mechanics in automotive service industry.
Sweet.
So I'm basically learning every nook and cranny inside out of how vehicles work. Not like motorcycles and other things like that. Only strictly like automobiles. Just
Yeah.
that's what the ASC certification is detailed towards, is just like automobile mechanics, which is cool because talking about stocks and with Daddy Elon.
Daddy Elon.
I have a quick
That-
question about that. So now that like all the cars use like computers in their engines and stuff like that, is that something you're learning about?
Yeah, that's the funniest thing you asked, because that's what I'm learning right now. I'm learning about complete
I was
electrical
wondering about that.
fundamentals
Nice.
on vehicles, and next course, which is the next 6 weeks. After this 6 weeks is the ECU class.
Oh, okay.
So this is where we're going to learn about strictly the onboard computer that is in every single vehicle that is tuned to make the vehicle run a specific way.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
That's where I'm going to learn a lot about that, and that's what electric vehicles run on mostly, is an ECU. That's what programs the car to do everything. Of course, it runs off of batteries too, but it needs that computer to tell the batteries what to do and how much force and voltage and all the current running through the car, and amperage and resistance.
Yeah, it's like an RC car. It's got to have that little computer chip in it.
That's
Beep,
literally
beep,
what it is. Except it's not a little computer chip. It's a,
Yeah, it's a big
fatty
chunky
bitch.
thing.
Yeah, it's a monstrosity.
Yeah, my mom's
Sweet deals.
truck has one of those things, and it's just I mean, it for her it appears to be a pain in the butt, because every time she shows up somewhere with a problem, they'll put it on, like they'll diagnose it and they'll be like, the computer says it's fine. And she's like, God damn it, like,
But
can't
it's
you hear
not.
the fucking thing ticking and making like
Yeah.
a knocking sound every 5 seconds?
Cars should be in essence mechanical for what they do, and like engines and axles and things like that are mechanical. But now with luxury vehicles, not only like Mazdas and things like that, and that's not even a luxury vehicle, but you get what I mean. I'm talking about like Teslas and other like prime examples, Porsche and BMW. their ECUs, you can't get them here in America because of how they're made, who they're made from, and just how fast they would make your car go. It's just illegal in America. So that's why it'd be even cooler to learn about ECUs, because you learn about power and
real power.
Yeah, and where tuning comes from. And JDM is all about their ECUs too. And that's why I want to get into that.
Nice, man.
Did any of you guys watch Top Gear back in the day?
Absolutely.
Back in the day? Oh yeah, dude.
Back in the day, that shit's on Netflix, bro.
It's still on.
I've never watched
streaming
it.
services.
Is the UK version on Netflix?
Yes, sir.
I think so, actually. It is.
They had both of them on there for a while, but I think the UK is on the only one on there still.
Yeah.
Dang.
By the way, look at that. Ah! Look at that carbonation. Yummy.
What about you, Justin?
Yeah, how you doing, Justin? How you hanging up, man?
Been pretty solid. Been working a lot. Except I don't care about the work. I just think about other things like the stock market all week.
I believe it. If I was making like what was it, 23,000 or like overnight,
2,300.
Sorry, 2,300. Whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say 23,000. You might as well quit your job.
Hey, I've had like 3 glasses of this. Don't judge me.
Hashtag don't judge him.
In my spare time, I've been playing Binding of Isaac a lot.
Yeah, you've been playing that just about as much as I've been playing Rust. Admit it.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
That's a damn good game, and the randomization makes it pretty good. Honestly, that's it. My sleep schedule is fucked. I've been sleeping all kinds of horrible times. Yeah. One night I'll sleep at like 7 p.m. The next night I'll sleep at like 3 a.m.
Oh god,
it's bad. I need to not do this anymore, or I'm going to collapse. But other than that, doing good.
Nice, man. Good to hear. Yeah, I was gonna say, how's work going with you? You still staying busy, or?
Oh yeah, it's always busy because at my job there's a team of only 2 people for what should be a team of 6. So
are you working on site or is it from home?
Still working on site. Yeah. Because if we have to like set up computers or meet up with like users and stuff, that all requires being online and like connected. It's funny too because at our company, they all of a sudden on Monday they're like, "Oh, you need to get HR approval if you're gonna have a user come in so you can fix their computer." And then my response is, "Okay, so they don't care about us, but they care about the end users. Like we've been coming into the office for weeks, and they didn't give a shit. So it's like, are we not human enough for human resources?"
Yeah.
I mean,
good old HR, man.
That's capitalism, baby.
And stuff. I'm still saving up for my PC so that the boys we can all play some video games.
Finally play games together.
Yeah, I mean, I did download Rust.
This guy spent an hour trying to get into the Rust server, and like literally gets up from his computer, takes a shower, eats, comes back, and he finally gets into Rust. And by the time he can move, he's moving 3 frames a second. So,
yeah, it's
so
horrible.
we meet up after like 30 minutes of me trying to like get down to the bottom of the map, and I just see him moon jumping like 12 feet into the air, and then like frame by frame like coming down. I'm like, oh no, this is not gonna work. I was like, maybe I could just put you in the truck and you can just be like my like pack mule. I could just give you all the items and you'll just come around for the journey.
I will take this time to see what's new with mead and wine, which you guys definitely dread because you don't really know a lot about it.
Well, we've been learning about just about every episode.
Yeah. So my
I'm gonna go get a beer real quick, so this will make
go for it, man.
To me.
Yeah,
you continue.
So my cheap wine has finished fermenting, and I closed it. I took the airlock off so that I could carbonate it. And even if I do this, swish it around a little bit, you can hear that carbonation. So it's really, really nice.
could
It's
not.
well, in on my end, you'll hear it. Trust me. Um, but it's really, really nice. You really don't taste the alcohol. It's sitting at about 7 to 8%. Right, probably right in that range. But it tastes more like just like a really, really fruity soda, with like a hint of like a sourness that comes with wine, like a bitterness almost. But it's nothing. It's nothing like too harsh. And then actually I did finally, because it cleared out, I bottled my original like first ferment, which was my original mead. Let me actually grab that real quick.
Here.
And it cleared out really, really nicely. I've been thinking about back sweetening this one bottle, but I kind of like it as is. But so those of you that don't know, the difference between mead and wine is made with fruit juices, such as grapes or watermelon or just any sort of fruit. And it's either concentrate or just pure, with pieces of the fruit added in, and then you pitch your yeast with water, and that's what starts the fermentation process. Mead, on the other hand, is strictly honey, water, and whatever you want to put in it. So this, like I said, this is just a classic mead, just honey, water. I originally did put blueberries in this, but I did not cut them up. So the yeast pretty much just ate the sugars from the skin of the blueberries, which gives it like a very, very, very minuscule hint of blueberry, which a lot of beginner mead drinkers or mead makers wouldn't even like, I guess, even fathom, if you could say that. But the plan is
Simple.
by sometime later this year, maybe around late spring, I want to have a batch ready so that I can ship it to each one of the boys, and maybe we can do a taste test for a podcast. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a poll between all four of us, and whichever ones get the most between a mead and a wine, then those are the two that I'll make, and then I'll bottle and ship. Now here's the biggest thing: I do not sell this. So if anybody comes asking me how much for a bottle, you will probably not get a reply from me unless I'm feeling nice and I want to bring some light into this world.
Oh, I thought this
And
was like a legal thing. You're like, I'm not selling this.
No, no, seriously, like all legalities aside, I am not selling this. This is completely a hobby, and no, it won't kill you because it's homebrew, because I do it safely. I sanitize everything. I make sure everything is proper. I literally have like all my scientific beakers and hydrometers and everything over, like right over out of, out of frame. But yeah, so hopefully by that time we can have a really, really, really good mead and wine ready. Currently, I am still fermenting a cranberry mead, and then I believe I used 4 pounds of honey, so it's going to be a lot sweeter with, I think, half a pound of craisins. And if nobody knows what craisins are, they're cranberry raisins, and they are delicious.
They're crazy.
Yeah, because we're crazy. But then I also have I actually just started a pomegranate wine, and I'm really anxious to see how that comes out. It just started fermenting about a day ago.
I feel like that's going to be like nasty.
You think it's going to be nasty? I added 3 pounds of sugar, dude.
I mean, pomegranate juice in itself, like I used to drink the Poms, like those bottles. I just can't imagine it like fermenting or anything. It seems like it would be a funky result.
Yeah.
But and
if it flops, well, now I know. I probably just won't make that wine again. I'll probably end up giving it to people, and they'll probably be like, ew, why did you give this to me? And be like, because I wanted to get rid of it. I don't like it. So, but yeah, so that's what's new with homebrew.
New with homebrew.
So that sounds
I know.
good.
Yeah, so
That sounds dank. Looking forward to trying it. What does
Yeah,
that
dude.
have to do with Halo Reach?
God.
Um,
No, do you guys remember that cartoon that came out about like when Halo
Survive.
Reach came out, where it was just like Halo Reach, and it was like really
Raptor.
shitty animation, and it was like really weird where the dude's neck got like all veiny, and they were like trying to like stick their freaking willies in like an Xbox or something. It was fucking weird.
how long ago was this?
Oh, this was years ago. Like this is probably like 8 years ago.
Okay. Shit. So I think the last game I played was Halo 3. So
Okay.
Reach, when did that, I mean, was that
One.
So
After
Reach was the last game developed by Bungie. Came out after
Yep.
3.
it came out
Yeah.
after 3? Okay, so yeah, I never played Reach. I'm closing the door.
Hold on, let me get my doggo.
No, I put him outside. No dogs.
Oh,
Dogs.
the fluff. Oh my god.
That's pretty cute.
I want one of those. Oh my god, Justin, where the fuck did you get that?
Costco, I think.
What?
Look at this fucking rat. He literally looks just like him.
It's the same.
Ben, say hi.
So that pillow, the entire reason it exists is how do I explain this? So do you guys when you guys are sleeping, do you put your arm under the pillow?
Yeah.
Okay,
the,
so
the
I
one
do
your
that,
I sleep.
right?
your head.
I sleep
pillow,
on my
right?
stomach. I sleep on my stomach, so I end up sleeping something like this. With the
Yeah,
pillow,
no,
like in
I like
between
put my one arm underneath the pillow.
So sometimes it'll like hang your arm, like
Yeah.
the one that's under the
Just-
pillow. So that's what that dog is for. I put my arm on that.
Nice.
It's almost as good as a real dog. Just less farts and snores. Do you guys remember the dick butt meme?
Yeah.
Do you remember the Mudkip meme?
Classic. Oh yeah.
Did you guys go on 4chan?
No, so okay, I use
Yes.
9gag, but 9gag is just as fucking toxic.
I'm not an inso.
4chan is like, I know.
Exactly.
Okay, 4chan gods, we hear you. Yes.
Oh, no,
we
wait, what was
understand
I was
your
thinking
power
of-
over the internet.
No, 4chan is a little bit different, but still.
4chan is like
Same
the original
incels
Reddit.
is like 9gag and shit.
I like Reddit because of the subreddits of things that I like. And that's
No,
all I use it
Reddit's
for.
cool. Reddit still has its own little section of weirdos, but Reddit is
Actually,
it's actually amazing what the quote unquote Reddit detectives can do. Like some of the shit they do is pretty impressive.
oh yeah. I mean, even I go on like there's and you I don't know if you guys are gonna be surprised, but everything is on Reddit. Like what is it, Rule 42 or Rule 24?
34.
Like yeah,
34,
Rule 34.
big
There we
boy.
go. I was 10 off either way. Don't matter. Shut up. But
That's weak. That's weak shit, bro.
you shut your face.
And
but,
hentai.
like
And
Oh my
hentai, yeah.
That's the best website ever.
Oh, but yeah, I actually go
I'm
on
not afraid to say it.
r/mead. r/mead is actually pretty good.
Of course you would.
Shut up. But it's actually a pretty good subreddit just because you get to
Just a
see what
bunch-
people are working
bunch of
on, and then you
dudes
can
with
actually.
beards and
you can-
flannel t-shirts. just
No,
chilling.
I think that's r/IPA. Don't confuse the two.
Hey,
R
man,
slash
same
craft brew.
shit.
r/craft beer. But no, like it's actually kind of cool because you can see what people are working on, and you can even get recipes if people ended up making it successfully. So, I have yet to take a recipe off of Reddit, but
The
I don't
Reddit
know.
recipe.
I might look at posting on there, but yeah, Reddit's just a good, like, if you honestly want honest opinions about shit, but like, you know, you have to kind of weed and like wade through all the fucking trolls and stuff.
Well,
Like kind of
said
like if you go
weed.
on
yeah,
Omegle.
no, it's a lot easier than like YouTube comments and shit like that. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Like I said, like
bro.
it's like going through Omegle. You gotta wade through all the dicks first.
Yeah, I can't use Omegle. I refuse to use Omegle.
Yeah,
I've
me too.
never.
Speaking of dick, I was an original 4chan boy
Oh Jesus.
ever since the
crazy.
original days.
Oh no. Do I have to unfriend you?
Yeah, I know.
Purple heart.
I have a purple heart and oh my god.
So one of the things that I remember, there's like a YouTuber called like Internet Historian. Have you guys heard of him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does the one video about like the meme rock or something like that.
Yup.
So like I forgot which what company did it, if it was like 9gag or something like that. But they were like, let's take all the best memes, put it on a rock, and then we'll go like bury it in the desert somewhere.
And then push it somewhere else.
So somebody can find it in 1,000 years and be like, whoa, look at the dank memes, mom. You know, so they did something where they like put it out in the desert and like took a picture of it or something like that. And like the 4chan detectives like found out its like exact position and like went to it and destroyed it or something like that. Like that was the mission, was like, we're going to break the rock. Like fuck all these normie memes and shit like that.
Normies
Normies, man. Normies. They get to me, man.
That's the one, like, honestly, if there's one meme that to me that has just stood the test of time, it's fucking Pepe.
I love Pepe.
There's a legit documentary about that now.
Yeah,
I
there
love
is. Yeah,
Pepe.
about how it was like a terrorist thing or something like that. Like it was related to like terrorism. It was weird. I'm like, what the fuck?
I remember way back, it was like right around, I think, when Trump was getting into office or running.
Yep.
And they were having all those like memorial clashes where like they were going to take down a memorial, so all the people would show up, protesting the taking down of the statue. And there was this one guy who was like super, he was basically like a neo-Nazi, and he was like representing like Pepe, and he's like, yeah, like Pepe, blah blah blah, and like some guy just comes out of nowhere and fucking like punches him in the face. But I remember they were using that, and they were going like, yeah, Pepe is now like neo-Nazi propaganda. And I'm like, no, not fucking Pepe. Like,
not Pepe.
Pepe
literally
hands,
monka ass fucking Pepe hands.
It's yeah. So
regardless of affiliation, people who like memes are gonna meme.
Yeah. But I mean,
it's one of the, like,
when
that's
something like
what's
that
so crazy
gets taken a hold of.
Yeah, and that's what's so crazy just about the internet. It's fucking cracking. Like, people can communicate with just some of the stupidest shit you could ever think of, and they automatically like know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, I've tried to explain it to like my parents and stuff, or
boomers just don't understand, man.
Well, or friends that are like getting into streaming and stuff like that. Like it's they don't understand how like Twitch works, and so like trying to like describe like like my buddy Zuko, he didn't know what a dono was, and so I was like, I'm like, thanks for the dono, and he's like, dono, and I'm like, dude, you've been streaming for like 2 months now. How do you not know what a dono is? Like, come on, bro.
Yeah. It's all good, man. We all learn at our own pace.
No, yeah, but there is like some navigation to it. You know what I mean? Where if you're a little bit outside of the loop, you're not gonna know what the fuck,
Yeah. And speaking of like streaming
memes or whatever.
Yeah, speaking of streaming and like Twitch and stuff. R.I.P. PogChamp.
Yeah.
Can I get some F's in the chat, please?
That's
another one that a lot of people don't understand is, can we get an F in chat? But because remember, it's press F to pay respects from it was one of the first Call of Duties to come out.
That's old school.
Yeah, see, there you go, Justin.
Yeah, like one of my buddies will be streaming and he'll die, and I'll press F, and like half the people will either understand or they won't. You know what I mean? It's like
they'll either say like rip or like oof.
Yeah. Well, rip's pretty understandable.
Yeah.
Everybody's
rest in spaghetti, never forgetty.
But yeah, I've liked the boomer meme a lot more recently because it's
Okay, boomer.
Well,
Yeah, dude.
we're always referred to as millennials, and now millennials is just taken out of like the vocabulary. There's no mention of of us anymore. We're either boomers or zoomers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like there is no millennials now. Because
Yeah.
even millennials are called boomers, and I like that. I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. I think it's pretty hilarious too. I think the one thing that it's like it shouldn't, but it kind of does like grind my gears per se, is when people like especially the older generation like Gen X, when they fucking mistake our generation as millennials as Gen Z.
Oh, as zoomers, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like sigh.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
I'd rather have them. Yeah, well, I mean, it is kind of weird to be looked at like that, but it at the same time, it's like millennials always hold this fucking thing over their head where it's like millennials are ruining the restaurant industry. Millennials are ruining the movie theater business. It's like it's always our fucking faults. The economy's going to shit, or Red Robin's fucking closing. It's like goddamn these millennials, like. But like for the last year, I haven't heard it mentioned once. It's just turned into
okay, boomer.
Oh, you're 30 years old, boomer. It's like,
Yeah.
I think that's hilarious.
And I really don't want these to turn into politics. But I will say, yeah, fucking but. And this might be my own personal opinion, which nobody's entitled to their opinion anymore.
Yeah, I agree. Halo Reach is the worst.
Why do you want to keep talking about Halo Reach?
Fuck you, Justin.
Oh, I love Halo Reach.
It's all right.
But yeah, a lot of people are saying, fucking millennials for ruining our economy, where we were just dealt a shitty hand from the dealer.
Oh no. I mean, I know it's you don't even have to say it anymore. Being our age, we know that it's
That's all I'm gonna say.
Our fucking parents could afford to buy houses when they were like 20. Our grandparents could afford to like buy land and fucking have a family at 20, like all this like crazy shit. My grandpa had like, he had 2 kids and he built his own house, all this shit. And it's like now
built a fucking empire.
I can't even imagine owning a house, and I'm 30 years old.
You got Pokemon cards.
It's just
But you do open Pokemon cards for people online.
I mean, yeah. My investments aren't very smart, but
Did you try building a house with the Pokemon cards?
shit, I'd have better luck building a house with Pokemon cards than I would be buying a house in California.
That's probably true.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, move to fucking Georgia.
Down the street from my house, they're building brand new homes, and they have a sign out like right in front, and it says 2.5 to 5.5 million. Oh, and right above that it says only 2.5 to 5.5 million. It's like what
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. How the fuck am I supposed to get that shit?
And let me tell you guys, they don't
What
even
the
have
fuck
backyards.
Are you talking about?
They don't even have backyards. They're like these kind that are like interlocked together, like they're buildings that are like stacked so close to each other that they just like share like a backyard basically. It's fucking mind blowing. Who the fuck is gonna buy this place?
I don't want to live like that.
Oh.
Like, hey, sometimes I like to walk naked around my backyard. This is America, land of the free, where I can fucking free ball it. You know what I mean? But I'm not trying to have fucking John D. Weirdo looking through the knothole in the fence.
John D. Weirdo.
Boy.
Gold D.
You know
Roger.
what I mean? Yeah.
Cameron, that was supposed to wake you up.
What was?
So it's like if you're drinking and you're doing coke or you're smoking, there's always this level that you're trying to reach. You're either, you're doing a line and drinking, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh fuck, I need to smoke. But you smoke so much that you're all right. You're like, fuck, now I need to do some more coke, and you're just doing this balancing game. But there comes a point to where like you need to know when to stop one thing or the other to like fall asleep. So like if you could like stop doing coke at a certain amount of time, just drink enough beer or smoke enough weed, you could like pass out at like the appropriate time that you need to. Because there's a lot of people that'll just be like, I'm up until 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, just
don't you fucking dare, Stan. Don't you fucking dare.
Gex.
Yes. 64.
But yeah, so just in the future, make sure y'all are looking out for future stuff that we put out. Eventually, maybe sometime around the springtime, we are going to have some certain special guests come on to this show as well and just share and just life experiences, hobbies, and stuff like that. And it can be anything from the music side of things to food and maybe some other stuff. So I'm excited for it. Are you guys excited for that?
I love it.
Yeah. So we got a couple.
It's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the guest portion of the show too.
100%.
That'll be interesting.
I love it.
And cut.
Oh, that was it? We should at least...
That was it.
Okay.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, have beautiful
Goodbye,
day.
everybody. Yeah, I guess it is getting
Goodbye,
kinda late
everybody.
for
Good night,
some of you guys.
everybody.